You haven't subscribed yet?
This is the XTU action camera. Let's open the box and put it to the test. The model number is XTU S6. It can record 240 FPS at 720p and 120 FPS on 1080p, 60 FPS on 2K, and 30 FPS on 2.7K and 4K. We're gonna test these resolutions later in the video. The sensor is 20 megapixel. It has the 1350 milliamp battery. Okay, so this is the camera itself. It is in the waterproof casing. It's a very nice casing. Actually, this camera is smaller than I expected and I like it. It's compact. It looks nice. We have button control on the right side and also on the top. And this is the attachment at the bottom. Camera is actually pretty nice. It looks like a GoPro Hero. On the left side, we have a speaker and also we have a USB Type-C port for charging and also a micro USB. I'm not sure what that is for. It could be really good for vlogging as well. On the right side, we have an up and down arrow. At the back, we have a kind of big screen. On the top, we have two buttons to control the camera. At the bottom, we have a screw mount and the battery compartment. And this is pretty much the battery we have. It looks really nice. I like the design and I like the quality. It's a really good and nice quality build camera. I like it. We have a bunch of straps. We have this attachment if you want to hook it somewhere. We have a USB Type-C port for charging. So we have tons of attachments for different situations. You can put it on your helmet, on your car, wherever you want. And everything is pretty much included. So we have a remote control with the strap. Very nice. USB Type-C to Type-A adapter. And we also have an extra protective casing. It's gonna look something like this with the case on. We have access to buttons and everything, and we can hook it wherever we want. I'm actually surprised they didn't include the extra battery in this pack. Yeah, there is no extra battery pack, which is surprising. The camera is on right now. It's a very wide field of view. Technically, I mean, this is the action camera view. It's like a fisheye. Right now we are on 4K 30 FPS. We can change the resolution right here very easily. We have a 4K super view. We have a 2K 30. We can go all the way down to 720 30 to 720 240 FPS. The touch screen is not bad. It's responsive. Sometimes it gets a little bit oily and it's not working, but I guess that's expected for an action camera. They want to make sure it's tough. Okay, so this camera actually chopped down the video footage into different parts, and you can choose between auto and you can choose between up to 5 minutes. I'm going to leave it at auto to see how does it work. We have the audio on. You can also change the video encode. So we have a H.265 and H.264. So H.265 is gonna give you the higher quality video with a smaller file. We have the LDC, I'm not sure what that is, I'm gonna look it up. And we have a gyro image stabilizer. We have normal, super, and gyro. So if I slide down, we have the Wi-Fi connection, remote connection, and rotation, power. I think we can do a voice command as well with this camera. We have a normal video, we have a time lapse, we have a slow motion, we have underwater. That's a new feature that I never seen before. We have a car looping, so you can use it for dash cam as well. And we have the video and photo as well. And we can also go to the photo function. We have a normal photo, lapse photo, timing photo, burst photo, long exposure, and raw photo. That's pretty good. And that's it. We can actually do some zoom in as well. It's gonna be digital, obviously. We have 3 hours and 20 minutes for the recording. So we have a SD card in this camera, 64 gigabyte SD card included in this camera. And it's actually a high speed SD card. WDR, wide range. This camera has a noise reduction as well, which is really good. We have a default, high, and noise reduction. I'm gonna leave it at default. We can flip the screen as well, depends on where you hook it. Like I said, we have a voice control on this camera, which is nice. We can activate it, and we have the command list, video start, video stop, turn on screen, take a photo. These are the commands. Video start. Oh, it's recording right now. This is a test for the audio quality. Right now the camera is pointed towards the table and I'm trying to figure out what's the audio quality and audio levels. Video stop. For the voice command, it's hit and miss. Sometimes it can detect it, but sometimes it doesn't. But that's fine. I mean, at least we have that option. So we have an app control for this camera. Okay, the connection is actually pretty easy and fast without any issue. Actually, the transmission rate is not bad. It's very fast and the quality is really good. And I can start recording, and it actually records on the SD card on the camera and it's not recording on the phone. That's pretty good. And we can go and view the files. So on the app, I can check the video files. And if I want, I can download it on the phone. That's pretty cool. I can see the microphone is right in the front and that's pretty good. And another microphone is on the top. I can change the video mode. Okay, so we can change everything in here. We have a time lapse, slow motion, underwater, car looping, video and photo, and we have the night scene as well. We can also switch to the photo. We can do pretty much everything we do on the camera on the app, which is really useful. So you just connect it to the phone and you don't need to worry about it. You can just put it and hang it on your helmet, on your outside of your car, wherever, and just control it using the app. That's pretty awesome. We have other functions here. We can change the resolution, 4K. We have all the resolutions here. And it's really fast. We have all the controls here, ISO, white balance, everything is included in this app. Everything is here. Awesome. I love that. I'm just gonna go out and capture some test footage for the video quality, slow motion quality, image stabilization. Stay tuned. Okay, this is the test for the camera quality in the studio settings. I want to see if the action camera can perform well under the nice lighting, and it's gonna give us a good quality image. So how does it look? Is it good? Do you like it or no? Right now the action camera recording 4K 30 FPS. This is the best quality that you can get out of this camera. And this is my DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Okay, so let's talk about the XTU. Let's start by the build quality. The build quality is actually pretty good. I like it. The screen is responsive, it's good enough. It does everything that we need without any issues. And we also have a screen in the front. Front screen is not a touch screen. It's just to check the frame to see you are centered and what you are recording. It's really good for the vlogs, but the quality is lower than the main screen in the back. I like to have a screen in the front rather than not having it, but the quality of the screen in the back is really good, and that's the way it should be. So the first thing I tested was the 4K 30 FPS without any stabilization, and 4K was really good, decent quality. I liked it. I mean, the 4K quality was really good for the action camera at this price with this quality. It wasn't horrible. It was actually usable. If you want to capture some footage with this camera, you can actually use this footage. But without the image stabilization, it was a little bit too shaky. So I had to turn on the image stabilization. I put it on the normal mode. Actually, on the normal mode, I got the best result in terms of the image stabilization. But the thing is, for the image stabilization, you get a little bit cropped in image. So it's going to be a little bit zoomed. But for the normal mode, it was decent. It wasn't too cropped in. And I also set it to the super image stabilization. So that's gonna be a little bit more cropped in and it's gonna be a little bit more zoomed in. I noticed that I lost a lot more image quality because it has to do all of the things in the background to make it stabilized. It is more stabilized, but we get less quality image. So I think the sweet spot is to put every video in the normal stabilization, because without the stabilization, the shake is gonna be a little bit too much. So if you don't use your camera on a stationary position, like a tripod or something, you should definitely put it on the normal image stabilization. And one thing about the screen in the front, so if I select the front screen and I start recording, I cannot change the screen while it's recording. So I have to stop it, change the screen to the rear one, and then start recording. That's one of the downsides. So next up, I tried the 4K 30 FPS Super View. For some reason, it has the name Super View, but it is stretching out the image on a horizontal level for some reason, and I get the lower quality. I'm not really sure what is the super view means. Why is it super? Gives us a less quality. I'm not sure about that. So if you know more about that, leave a comment and let me know. And after that, I tried the 2.7K 30 FPS image quality, and that was good as well. It wasn't much issues, but it was lower quality than the 4K. But when I decrease the resolution, I expect the quality to go higher, but that's not the case in this camera. So keep in mind the 4K resolution is always the best quality out of this camera. And after that, I tried the 1440p 60 FPS. So 1440p is 2K resolution, and the image quality decreased by a lot. And I really didn't like the 2K quality on this camera. It's okay, but it's not the best image quality out of this camera. So why would we use it? Next up, I tried the 1080p 120 FPS. That's the high speed slow motion mode on this camera. So this is a balance between the slow motion and the good quality image. So that was actually pretty good. I slowed down the footage to 30 FPS, and we still have the audio in this mode, but on these high speed resolutions and high speed mode, we lose the image stabilization. So keep that in mind. And I also tried the 1080p 30 FPS just to see the normal quality out of this camera. What is the normal quality with the lowest file size on this camera is gonna look like? It's decent, it's not bad, but still I prefer the 4K quality. And I also tried the 1080p 30 Super View. Again, Super View for some reason doesn't give me a good quality. I don't know why we have the Super View. Next up, I tried the 720p 240 FPS, which is the super slow motion on this camera. It is super slow, but the footage is not really great quality. I mean, we lose a lot of quality just to get more frames. I think I prefer the 1080p 120 FPS on this camera if you want to go slow motion, but 720p 240 FPS is just not good image quality in my opinion. Anything below 1080p is not usable. And as far as the audio quality is decent. The mic picks up good audio. Okay, right now I'm testing the audio quality in the outdoor scene. This is the audio you're hearing straight out of the camera with using the mics without any cover, and it should be good. I mean, if you're like having it at this distance, it's gonna be good, but anything further than that, it's gonna get lower audio. But in your editing software, I could get a higher quality image with the voice isolation and raise up the volume. It's gonna be okay and usable. Actually, it's one of the good audio qualities that I tried on action cameras. And next up, I tried the waterproof casing for this camera, and I used the underwater mode on the camera because that makes it a little bit warmer color just to combat the blue in the water. The waterproof casing works perfect. There was no issue with the camera getting damaged or water leaks, anything like that. But the thing is, after using the waterproof case, you're gonna lose all of the audio because it blocks the microphones. And the image quality underwater using the case is actually good. Without any issues, the 4K quality is still decent. Next up, I tried the night scene to check the video capabilities in the night settings or dark settings. It's good, it's something to have, but it's not gonna be great because it doesn't have infrared lights and you're gonna get a lot of noise. But still something to have, better than not having it. It's not bad. So that was the video quality of this camera, and next we have the photo quality. So photos is 12 megapixel on this camera. It's okay, it's not bad, it's not the greatest photo that you ever seen before. I mean, whatever your phone is, it's gonna get a better photos and pictures than this camera. So don't use this camera for photos, but I mean, if you can, if you have to, but don't use it. And I really recommend using it for the 4K quality video. And I also tested the lens distortion correction on this camera, and it works pretty well. We lose some of the image. I mean, it's gonna be cropped in a little, but it's gonna fix the lens distortion on the camera and make it normal for the audience that's watching the video. Okay, so that was the video and audio quality and functions of this camera. As far as the remote control works fine without any issues. And you select the remote on the camera, it's gonna be connected you press the photo, it takes a photo, you press the video, it takes a video without any issues. And also we can rotate the screen, so if you want to capture like a horizontal video without any issues on the screen, you can do that. And also the app connection was pretty fast without any issues, and I could control the camera really easily, capture photos, videos, go to the setting, change everything about this camera on the app, which is a huge plus, and it works flawless. The app control was really good. And also we have the voice control on this camera as well, which works fine. You can say video start, it will start capturing the video stop. Sometimes there's a hit and miss with this because it doesn't hear you correctly, or maybe it's too noisy out there, but I like having that function in this camera. And as far as the battery life is decent. I mean, to be honest, the battery is pretty small. It's gonna work around 45 minutes of straight shooting without any stop, and we don't have extra battery in the package, and you have to buy them separately with the charger. That's something to consider if you're gonna use this camera. You're gonna have around 40-45 minutes of 4K 30 FPS video. So keep that in mind. All right, so that was the review video for the XTU action camera. I hope you liked it, you enjoyed it. If you want to buy this camera, I think this is a decent camera for the price point, with a great quality at 4K quality with the good stabilization. Let me know if you have any other questions about this camera. I'm gonna answer them in the comment section to the best of my knowledge. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe before you go. I'll see you in the next video.